Welcome to room 174. I'm Miss Nuemer.
And I'm Miss Halfman.
Welcome to our crib. The first thing that you'll see when you come in is the We Are Emerson board. So on this board we have our menu, which actually we have to update because right now it's October. But here you can find the menu if you're ever curious what's for lunch. We have a schedule if you ever forget what that is. And then here is all three of your health teachers. If you're ever in need of a Band-Aid, because that seems to be popular, especially in the health room, Band-Aids are right over here. We actually are running low, so maybe we'll have to run to the nurse and go grab some more.
The next thing you'll see in the room is our SOARS matrix and our bell schedule. Up on the smart board, we always have our daily agendas posted. This is an example of my agenda. Taylor Swift of the day. I'll switch it out with either One Direction or Harry Styles. And then I'll usually just have like a cute little reminder and the learning objective. Over here, each of the health teachers have their own little Bitmoji. So this is mine, this is Miss Nuemer's, and then this is Mr. Alvarez. He teaches 2 classes in here this trimester. And then these are x-rays of me, yours truly. You can see that I have scoliosis in my neck, and I think this is just really cool. Manipulative to have for the students to use.
So here's our whiteboard. So since Miss Halfman has come, she has introduced us to a lot of really cool technology that me and her both use when we were teaching in the classroom. So one of my favorites is we have a doorbell. When we want to get our students' attention, we can go ahead and press that. We have our voice scheme here, so based on like how loud we want our students to be, we'll go ahead and press that, and that kind of informs you guys how loud we want you to be. Obviously we have our whiteboard markers there. Here we have the poster of whatever unit we're teaching. So currently I actually just got done teaching about portion sizes, so we can go ahead and take that down. Sometimes we'll have manipulatives up here, so these are some books that we have used. Over here we have our calendar, so Mrs. Halfman does a really nice job at updating this every day. I am not that good at remembering, but she is. We have our Wheel of Emotions, which we'll see in the back in a second. And then this is kind of like what you need for health on like a daily basis.
All right, so this is now where we're getting into my section of the crib. This is where I spend all my time in between periods. So if you take a step beyond the desk where I'll let you have special privileges to step in here, you can see my bulletin board. I like to put like sentimental things up here anytime I get like a little note or kids draw me things. I love Harry Styles, as you can tell, and then Taylor Swift is always watching.
Absolutely.
Moving forward. So ISU, go Redbirds. I don't have anything against Miss Nuemer for going to NIU, but ISU, ride or die. If you're not a Redbird, you're a dead bird. Moving right along, we have Harry Styles. This is probably the first thing you see when you're walking and looking into the room through the window, along with my Nile Horn doll. This is vintage from my childhood. Anyone steals it, I'll find you. And then down here I kind of just have like supplies, and then my ISU mug, and then another little Harry Styles thing. Here are like kids' caddies that they can rent out to borrow some supplies. I have Harry's house as a tissue box. I made this myself. And then my little pencil thing here, the students love. When they need to borrow a pencil, they'll leave a shoe or something of value, because I value my pencils. They'll just twist this out, and a pencil will come out. This is a little white blood cell, because Pablo or Mr. Alvarez broke my pillow, so now it's a white blood cell. Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. And then I kind of just have like pictures on my desk. It's very kind of organized back here, and then I have a little motivational bulletin board as well as a Harry Styles pillow for when I take my long naps after school.
And then this is my spot. So I know that Ms. Halfman is very neat and very organized. I am organized in my own kind of way. This is kind of my shelf of fun. I have a lot of manipulatives, a lot of things that I incorporate into my teaching. I have a pound of fat right here. I know a lot of kids are always wondering what this is. Here's 5 pounds of like what muscle would actually look like. We'll go ahead and go in a little bit more in depth as to what this stuff is. But this is kind of my area, my space. I know that it was once Mrs. Schumacher's, but I kind of made it into mine. I have my bulletin over here, which again, like Ms. Halfman, it's kind of like the things that are important to me. And I went to NIU, which is the home of the Huskies, and if we're talking about a fight any day, a Husky will always eat a Redbird. I get a lot of questions as to what's on my shelves, so I kind of will just point out a couple of things. If you look on my top shelf, I have a pig that was given to me from one of my family friends from Germany. They know I love pigs, so they went ahead and sent it to me. I have a tiara that was given to me from Mrs. Shu, so a lot of times I think to myself, what would Miss Shu do? It also reminds me to be my best self, especially when I'm in the classroom. On my next shelf, I have a lot of like visuals that I use in class. I have a skull. I have a pound of fat. I have 5 pounds of muscle. You can kind of see the comparison to fat and muscle. The cool thing about the fat candle is that when it burns, that's how much energy it takes to burn 1 pound of fat, which is pretty cool. On my next shelf, I have books that I use in class. I read out loud. Sometimes I have pictures from my friends that I actually do talk about in class. I do have a bone that I found during COVID. It was my dog's bone. It's cool because it shows the compact and spongy bone. I get a lot of questions about the pickle cotton candy. That was a gift from Allie Lobo. I have tried a lot of pickle flavor things like pickle pizza, pickle ice cream, and she found me pickle cotton candy, which I thought was funny. It tasted horrible. And then last but not least, I have my gummy bear, and my gummy bear is just used for popcorn reading. And yeah, these are my shelves. So here is kind of like our blank space, or my blank space, and this is kind of where I used to like set up from everyday lessons. This is kind of my binder. For me, this is like my survival guide to being a teacher. This has all of my copies, my paper copies of all of my lessons that I teach. I have digital copies, but these are my paper copies, originals. On my back here, a lot of people are curious about the pig. So even before I became a teacher, I collected a lot of pigs. They were gifted to me. I bought a lot of them, and I had no space to put them, and so I decided to bring them here. So that's kind of where all of my pigs ended up. We have Bentley, that's all the way up here. He kind of watches over us. I never really talked about my wanted poster, but that's always a question. That was when I did baldricks. So I donated about 18 inches of my hair a couple years ago, like right before COVID. So that was just something fun that I did. That's why I was wanted. I was wanted for my hair. Maybe I'll do it again this year. We'll have to see. If you come over here, these are my turn-in bins. So whenever my students complete their work, they can turn in. I have some extras that they can come find if they're missing something. This is our emotion wall that we were talking about, or like the wheel of emotions. I know that like we talk a lot about our emotions in 6th grade, but this kind of like puts into words like how we are feeling and all the different emotions that go with them. More pigs are over here as we walk this way. Lots and lots of more pigs. We have our fat heads up on the wall. Mrs. Halfman went ahead and designed them. So there's Mr. Alvarez, me, and Miss Halfman. This is where our Choices magazines are. We take the time to read these sometimes during class as activities. These are a really fun way to learn, to explore, to learn new topics. We have Greg against our wall right there. Greg helps us talk about the digestive system, a circulatory system, all that good stuff. We have our class library, we have our class books, but then these are like just books that you can like read if you want, if you have extra time. This is Miss Halfman's edition. I've never actually had like a coffee nook, but that's something that we incorporated. So props to Miss Halfman for putting that together. It makes it a little bit more cozy here. And then if you come over here, we have skeletons in our closet. This is Scully, and Scully does a great job at helping us learn all about our bones and talking about our skeletal system.
Disclaimer, day 2 of filming, love the fit change, don't mind the odd cuts, but so here after our skeletons in our closet we have a little affirmation station with all these positive words on the side here, and students just like to check their hair, and I like to get ready in this mirror in the morning. We're all very in love with ourselves here, so why not really just bask in the love by staring at yourself in the mirror all day. In this cabinet, this is for VIPs only, so this is mine and Miss Nuemer's closet. I'll let you have a little sneak peek. So in here, I usually have like my jacket I use for lunch duty over here, and then typically my backpack's in here, but I'm eating my lunch right now, so it's behind my desk. And then I have my makeup in here because I do my makeup in the morning because I do not like to get up. So I'll usually do it here. We have extra tissues and stuff. This is Miss Nuemer's shelf. And then up here's my Cricut, and then we have an extra projector in case ours breaks. And then we have another little mirror here, but it's not very clear, so we like to use the other one. And then typically this is locked, so don't try to get in here. We'll know. And then over here we kind of have just another like little workstation. Kids can charge their Chromebooks over here. In here is just like extra supplies and stuff. Kids might need like markers, glue, pencils, stuff like that. In here we keep wigs. Don't ask, but we have a wig with curlers. And then extra paper, things like that. These are kind of our junk drawers. Like everyone has a junk drawer in their home. We have a junk drawer in our classroom. Just random stuff either we don't use anymore or just miscellaneous items. Here we have headphones students can borrow, and then a few laptop chargers, but half of them don't work, so it's kind of like a gamble trying to figure out which ones do work. And then over here we have our hand sanitizer and our crisis plan paperwork, and then our evacuation plan, as well as our door stops for the morning.
You've seen the pigs, you've seen Harry Styles, you've seen the coffee bar, the skeletons in our closet, but right now it's time for you to go.
Get off my lawn!